doing some kitchen work. Okay, so I hope y'all can hear me over the kitchen sounds. Y'all should be able to hear me talk over the kitchen sounds. Okay, so if you've been fighting heavy spell work, you need to watch this video. You need to listen to this video. And this is going to be a raw video, okay? Just like the one I did about losing weight, okay? Now, if you've been fighting heavy spell work, the very first thing to do is what I found out. To get rid of everything that's old. Everything that's old. That includes old relationships. I know some people are going to be like, oh, but nah. They're the main suspects, okay? Relationships that you had over many years are the main suspects for why you got heavy spell work on you. Get rid of everything old. Pack it up. Put it in the basement or put it in the attic. Everything that you own that's real cheap too. Okay? You're not going to be left with much. You're going to be like, wow, I don't have much now. But I'm going to tell you, your power to break that spell work is going to be like triple, okay? Heavy spell work is always meant to hurt your health and your finances. Okay? That's why most of the time people do spell work. Because they know bad health, bad finances will leave you alone a lot. And people want you out of the game of life so they can win. So that's why people do spell work on you. So get rid of, try not to touch anything old unless it's of like a lot of money, high value. If you got an old car you got to use, then only use that car for when you have no choice but to use it. Okay? And what you're going to do if you're using an old used car that's in bad shape, what you're going to do is keep that car clean before you use it. Okay? You're going to clean it, detox it before you use it. Old things make it easier for you to keep spells on you and to attract spells. Okay. Another thing. Get rid of anything that somebody gave you that you think didn't love you. You got to get rid of that too. And did people stuff who didn't love you. Don't matter if you love them. If they didn't love you, don't touch their stuff if they're dead. Okay? We know this is November season and people tend to want to purge. And, you know, people are planning to have a glow up by summer. You're not going to break the spell work that's affecting your glow up until you stop dealing with, so you stop keeping old, broken, loveless things. They got to go. That includes clothes. So every week, you ain't got to do this all at once. Every single week, get rid of, like if you got a full house or a packed house, every single week, get rid of anything that's bold and broken. What that's going to do is going to weaken the spell work on you. Okay, it's only thriving because something is helping it thrive. Okay, it could be the negativity of someone in your life. Arguments will keep spell work strong. Even if the person you're arguing with didn't do the spell work, it's still going to keep the spell work stronger on you. So the second thing is to stop dealing with problems with people, the same problems with people. Get a minister involved, okay? When you've been fighting with the same person too long, it's time to get God in it. It's time, I'm telling you why, y'all. It's time to get a minister to take over the situation. Okay? Somebody is purposely keeping the argument going because they see the damage that it's doing. Now, if it ain't you, then you need to get a minister involved. Stop always trying to handle break spell work by yourself. I know you didn't heard this 1,000 times, but you can literally pray enchant spell work out of your life. You can. If you're having trouble fasting, you got spell work on you. Okay, fasting was something our ancestors naturally did. It came natural. So if you're struggling with fasting, somebody's harvesting your energy. And they're not harvesting your energy for good. When people harvest your energy, it's often used against you, your own energy. Now, if y'all listening, put in the comments that y'all listening. You know, give some confirmation. We're going to get into the next thing. The heck was that? Did y'all hear that? Something shuffled right in the back of me. Something shuffled in this kitchen. Somebody, spirit in this kitchen don't want me talking about this. I'm going to keep on talking about it. There's a spirit in this kitchen. Because I don't got no pet in here, so what the hell was that shuffle noise? Okay, but anyway, as I was saying, spell work will stay on you if you don't have gratitude. Not just for things you own and money you got. You have to have gratitude for the people that have helped you. You have to express the gratitude directly to them. Okay? If you're just like thanking God only, no. God knows why you won't thank that person. So you can't expect to be let out of spell work when you're passive aggressive with your gratitude. Okay? When you give gratitude to the people that have helped you, that puts their energy on your side. Okay? And their energy of care and love for you creates a strong force field of protection around you. People might not protect you if you act ungrateful. And you need all the protection you can get when you have spell work on you. This is the realest talk. Okay. Feel free to listen to all the sounds, y'all. Okay. Now, I hope y'all can hear me. I'm going to go talk a little softer so y'all can hear all the water. Now, the next thing to do is live a life where you're having fun. Now, I know that sounds wild, but spell work is meant to keep you miserable. It's meant to bring you down. So, spend your money on experiences, fun experiences. Like a few fun experiences a week. Most of the time when spell work, what is that shuffle noise in here? I'm hearing all kind of sounds in here. Crackling. Is that the floor? I think the floor crackling. Yeah. Might have been the floor. Oh, okay. My cat is there. Hi, kitty cat. Where are you hiding? Hi, Flip. Hi, Papa. Hi, baby. when you have a good time, without even saying it, you're sending somebody's energy back at them. That's why when people do spell work on you, they check to see if you're miserable. They don't want you to have fun. Okay, that's how you know the people doing spell work on you. Is that when you're like, yeah, I had fun and, you know, I had fun today and all that. They tend to go cold and negative and stuff. Even though you're not trying to rub it in and you're not trying to leave them out. You're just, you know, have fun in your own free time. They get triggered by it. Them was the ones doing the main spell work on you. Okay? I'm going to do a video on how to track spell work too. How to track to find out who did it. Hi everybody. Now, here's something that I'm doing. Leave modern energy. If it ain't directly connected to non-modern energy, leave it alone. Like, don't do it for a couple weeks. I mean, no apps unless they are connected to non-modern energy. So Amazon is still non-modern because it's books, audiobooks, art. So that app you can hang out on. It doesn't have like a chat section where you could just run your mouth and just socialize and gossip. So that's why it's actually a more non-modern app. But the rest of the apps you should consider leaving for like at least 30 days. Okay. If you're going to be on them, you got to use them in a non-modern way. Spell work is so strong on people now because of the technology adding to the strength of the spell work. The frequency, your frequency being too available through the modern apps. So, strengthen your boundaries in the modern world. Okay? Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to actually just jump ship and be like, I'm just doing all modern stuff for like 30 days so I can break this spell work. Now, here's another thing. Stay away from haters and negative people. Negative people pull you in a negative energy and then the spell work stays on you. Stay strong. So, stay away from competitive people, negative people, and people that like to withhold love from you. People that like to be passive aggressive. Okay? I heard a quote today that was like shocking. Okay? I couldn't understand why God wanted me to watch this one movie, and it was for this quote. The guy said, the greatest enemy of progress is chaos. And we know spell work is meant to cause chaos. It's meant to cause chaos within you, chaos in your house. It's meant to cause chaos with your finances. So you got to keep all forms of chaos when you're breaking. You got to keep all forms of chaos out your life when you're breaking spell work. This means no messy clutter. Okay? Chaos of being unorganized. When you're unorganized, spell work can work easier. Okay? So get organized. You might want to spend just a week of just organizing. When I was breaking spell work on my body for the first 50 pounds, I spent an entire week organizing. People were like, how did you manage to dry fast and water fast for 2 weeks? They didn't know that my kung fu against the spell work that was trying to mess up my fast, my kung fu was organization, cleanliness, and high quality. I literally only wore my most valuable stuff. I ate from my most precious things. I kept only my most precious stuff. And I was real strict on being very organized. And I would be in that energy for hours. Like for 2 weeks straight. Okay? So what happened was the windows and when the spell work will be strong, the spell work couldn't really connect to my frequency because I was in the middle of organizing and cleaning. See? I wasn't just a sitting duck. I wasn't doing low vibrational stuff for it to be able to come at me again in another cycle. See, spell work energy lingers around and waits for you. It's like dust in the air. Okay, with a negative vibration. It waits for certain windows of time in the day in which you are vulnerable. So, but when you are doing God's work, the kind of work God do, you're not vulnerable. See what I'm saying? All right, so 3 things that would keep you happy, and 3 things that would be three things that you should be doing that you haven't been doing. Okay, like organizing, keeping your laundry done, You know, that's another thing. No, if you let your hamper overflow, that brings bad luck. That brings negative energy. Okay, so keep your hamper only halfway full for at least 30 days. Like be on it, be like, nah, this hamper cannot overflow. Because overflowing of Talk City gonna come in my house. Okay? Now, admit the fact that the spell work worked because you was already around connected to something that is like it. So you can go on a hunt and try to find out what was like it that caused it to be attracted to you and work, or find out how to disarm it, or do both. That's up to you, but I'm giving you some ways to disarm it or to block it until it dissolves. Spell work will fade on its own. Your ancestors will sweeping the dust of it out, the pollution out of your home and out of your energy. But it takes time. But you can set up blocks so that it doesn't have such a strong hold on you. Hi everybody. So for example, if you notice how my views in my views in my live videos have been low ever since I've been faceless. You know why? Because the dark side of YouTube don't want to come in my videos because it can't see me. See what I'm saying? So that's another way how you can find out where your spell work is coming from. Remove the most available parts of you and see how the energy change. If the energy change, okay, if you are treating yourself better after you have set up boundaries and been somewhere, then you know that was probably where the negative energy was coming from because your boundaries wasn't strong. That's how you know the spell work was coming through that resource. Ozzy, calm down, Bubba. Calm down, okay? You're not getting no more Tracy's. No. No more treats, but which one of y'all opened this? Okay, good. So yeah. Enjoy the sounds, y'all. My cat still came in here. But another thing is, good way to bust spell work is to live like the 1950s. I know that's crazy, but in the 1950s, everybody always dressed their best. Always dressed their best. They ate small meals. The 3 meals a day were like small. Okay, they knew how to just be. And they went walking, and they were always getting rid of old things and purging and buying new stuff. So you can say for every third thing that you throw away, you get to reward yourself with something new. So let's say you get rid of 3 things that you own that is toxic or old or used up. And you say, well, I'm getting this out of the house. Then reward yourself. What you're doing is you're raising the vibration after it's been raised from you getting rid of 3 things that you're not using anymore. That's done serving you. That way, then the spell work weakens on you. Back in the 90s, we stayed doing that. But we often had our parents doing it, going through our clothes when we didn't do it, you know. Now, one way, this is kryptonite against spell work. Hardcore minimalism, not the minimalism that we think is minimalism today. It's like the kind of minimalism that if you went to try to move out your house in 2 hours, could you? That type of minimalism. So you can go that route. There's a guy on YouTube who did that He started like a couple channels, and something was blocking his channels. It took him like 3 channels, but on his like, I think his 4th channel, I think his name was Tom, but on his 4th channel, he said he sold his everything in his house. So he showed his house empty, and then he went on like a real minimalistic diet as well. And then within like 2 years, he made like $1 million from his YouTube channel, and they were interviewing him. He's the one who started that viral trend. I sold everything I own. He was the one who started that trend. Other people started copying him because they saw that his methods made him a millionaire. Okay, the reason why I made him a millionaire is because the spell work could not block his ancestors anymore. They could not make his ancestors struggle. After he did what he did, he started getting endless amount of downloads. For example, when I first moved in this house, there was barely nothing in this house that I touched, and there was barely nothing of mine in this house. Okay, and everything that wasn't mine was locked up. So when somebody tried to put spell work on me, it wasn't really working. So what I ended up happening, and plus I wasn't buying stuff. I was only buying stuff that I needed. I was spending all my money on fun things to do in the state. But then when I switched over to buying things, and I switched over to putting people's things out in my house, the ideas that would track me money, they weren't coming anymore. And I actually got creatively blocked for like almost a year. What I started doing again was I decided to do a heavy purge of the house. And it went on for 2 weeks while I was fasting. And then all these downloads came within a week later. And then I had all these I had several videos go viral. And then in 1 month on YouTube, for the first time, I made $10,000. So the spell work was coming on my property, and then when I would touch the property, the spell work would get on me. Hi, everybody. So what I had to do was I had to stop dealing with anything that wasn't mine. Now, another way to break spell work, heavy spell work, okay, is to actually start your life over. Sometimes you got to do a very hard reset. Sometimes you got to start over like you're just 18 years old moving out your parents' home. You may need to, like I said, start a different job, move in a different home, let go of all your friends. You may have to do all that, okay? Because the spell work might have been on you so long and it's so heavy, and someone keeps working so hard to keep it on you that you actually have to become totally unfamiliar to the spell work just to get it to get away from you. So sometimes you gotta be ruthless and be like, I'm going to just jump into a whole different reality, like starting over, and this spell work is going to be like coming towards the previous reality, and and for a frequency, it's not going to be available. Now, if you're that fed up with fighting the same damn spell work, then do that, a hard reset. Okay? Now, often spell work gets you when you are not at your best about you. Okay? When you're in a tug of war with your self-esteem, the spell work normally will work on you. So if you're following rules just because you're afraid of what society will say, That's fear. And spell work feeds off fear. It thrives because of your fear. So you have to be able to live on your own terms, regardless of what anyone has to say. Matter of fact, don't even seek nobody's advice, and don't even seek nobody's advice for a while unless it's your designated, assigned spiritual coach or minister. Like, kick everybody out your head, because believe it or not, spell work also have consciousness that cater to it. So you don't know if the people you're listening to is in that negative frequency that is of that spell work. So kick everybody out your head. Don't say, I don't want no advice. I'm not accepting any constructive criticism with anything I'm doing. Like, stop people at the door. As soon as they go to get it, be like, no. I'm on advice vacation. I'm on listening to Juru vacation. I'm not listening to nobody. I'm going to my scriptures. I'm going to my scriptures for about 60 days. I'm going to just do everything the scriptures say, and ain't nobody saying nothing to me. Now, I heard a quote to say, people focus on what they sacrifice. This is what I heard today. People focus on what they will sacrifice to achieve their dreams. But people should be focusing on what they sacrifice when they're just staying still and doing nothing. And that is like so deep, okay? Spell work want you to be still too long. It want you to say, I'll do my dreams tomorrow, or I'll do it later, or I'll do them next week, or I'll finish the book tomorrow. It wants you to say that. Okay? It wants you to collect fearful moments through your day. Oh, I'll take care of myself tomorrow. Oh, I'll do my project tomorrow. It wants you to keep putting things off. Okay? And when spell work get on you, that's the number one sign that there's an big opportunity that you can get at that time. Otherwise, the spell work wouldn't even came for you. Spell work's purpose is to block you, stop you, rock you, to shake you, and to delay something. And no spell work is put on you without someone seeing you or knowing you. So the spell work came from someone that knows you or who have seen you. No one can put random spell work on somebody they've never seen and don't know. Okay? Someone puts spell work on you because they know your life. They know your business. It could be a neighbor that did it. It don't have to be a family member. It don't even have to be a lover. We automatically assume it's a lover. If you don't know, if you got neighbors praying that you get evicted, trying to get you kicked out, trying to block you because they're jealous and they're alone. One of the main people putting spell work on you is people who try to devalue your blessings because they don't have it. So like when you say, oh yeah, my hair is growing good, and they say, well, my hair is falling out, and they go into all that. That's somebody that's literally praying against you at the same time. That's why they didn't say, well, that's nice that your hair is growing. I hope it keeps growing. That's why they didn't say that. Now, here's another thing. Spell work needs fed and nourished. It's no different than a plant. So, it's going to attract people that is of it. The people, when you're talking to people in grocery stores, they're going to be of that spell work. It's going to fight for its life. Okay? It doesn't want you to destroy it. So, first of all, it doesn't want you to try to destroy it, because it is still attached to the person that put the spell work. So when you try to destroy it, then it may come back to them times 3. It might come back to the creator of that spell work times 3. So the creator of that spell work, want that spell work on you as long as possible before it has to bounce back at them. So you delay it bouncing back by not putting up your defense, by not fighting it. Okay. Now, spell work thrives from hoodoo belief. Okay. It gets stronger from you believing that it is strong. So if you tear it down, like they tore down the clown in the movie It, It Part 2, how they told him he was nothing but a baby and a clown. When you tear down spell work and you tear down his confidence and self-esteem, you tear it down like it's a person that you're about to fight, like a toxic person. When you tear it down like that, it starts to actually feel like it might not can't work on you. Okay? It starts to lose power over you. Spell work is always a part of hoodoo. So saying you're nothing, you're sending all that back to the creator of that spell work. And that's pulling them into self-hate and lack of confidence when you tear them down, which means their spell work is going to get weak. They were overconfident. They were very confident when they did that spell work on you. They think that they're unseen, they're unheard, they're unknown, and that they got you figured out and you don't know who they are and you don't got them figured out. So they was very comfortable and sure of themselves when they did that spell work, when they followed through with doing the spell work. And they didn't try to take it back. They was positive. They was confident, positive about their powers. You get positive about the powers of your voice to disarm their hoodoo belief that their powers work on you. You use hoodoo voice against them, where you say, "Oh, you're nothing. Your spell work is nothing. It's crap." It's just this. It's the underlining proof that you're insecure, that you want to be me, that you hate yourself, that you're negative. See, when you say that, when you just say keep it in, matter of fact, lower the vibration of it. The lower it is, okay, the better, because it's trying to match your frequency in a false way, so it will work. So lower its frequency by talking about it like it is nothing but a bug that you can squash. Say you're nothing but a bug. You're at the bottom of the food chain. You have to be. That's why you're hiding and sneaking and doing all that. You won't fight me up and up like a tiger or a hippo or an anaconda. You won't do that. You're nothing but a beat down swamp alligator doing sneak attacks. If you didn't have your swamp energy, you wouldn't even be able to attack me. If you was in plain sight, I'm at the top of the food chain. My weaponry would be able to beat you. All you got is energy. I got energy, but I also got other things that work against you. I got a stronger belief in God. So you cannot defeat me. You don't believe in God. Otherwise, you would not be doing spell work on me. Whoever did this spell work. So you don't believe that there's a higher power in life that can get you through stuff. That will make sure you don't have to be jealous and conceit and insecure. You don't believe that there's a power that can give you the confidence and blessings I have. You have no faith. And that's why you're weaker than me. That's why you can't fight me up and up. If you had faith in your abilities, you would fight me to my face. But you're doing these sneak attacks because you are nothing but you're just a mosquito at night. That's what you are. But I have a high frequency and I can sense you. Just like I can sense when a mosquito has landed on my arms. You make my hair stand up when you're in the room. You're not that invisible. When you come in the room, I get goosebumps. I can feel you. So that's another way how you can deal with the spell work. Literally, tear it down. Okay? Make it a pause. The spell work is connected to somebody who is acting like they have no feelings when they do. Don't be fooled. Sociopaths and psychopaths have feelings. What they do is they simply, they're really good at burying their feelings so that they can go ahead and do whatever they want to you. And the reason why they'll do you wrong, because they feel like your blessings is hurting their feelings. Your giftedness and your worthiness is hurting their feelings. They're that sensitive. Since you know they're so sensitive, then you know that their spell work energy is sensitive. So tear it down, because it came to tear you down. Hi, everybody. I love talking while I'm cooking and cleaning. I don't know about y'all. it makes everything go faster. I'm sick and tired of hearing TV, and sometimes I don't want to hear YouTube videos. I want to talk. You know what I'm saying? While I'm getting some work done. But here's another thing. If you got spell work on you, you should probably be getting a physical. And you need to keep your genitals very clean. Spell work is put on people that people think is abundant. And genitals is very abundant. So you probably should try to stay away from casual sex. Okay? When you have spell work on you, you avoid casual sex. If you got spell work on your ability to find a job, money, if you're struggling with being courageous with achieving your goals, first of all, if you're struggling with anything for like a year straight, you got spell work. Okay? It doesn't take more than a year to do something wrong or have something go right after it's wrong. Jim Rohn talks about that. He says it should only take a year for something to stay wrong. That's the longest. If it's longer after that, no. Spell work. So at that point, when you figure out, say that, hey, this has been blocked for a year. And then at that point, you should be like, you know what? I'm not hooking up with nobody. Because that's just going to make the spell work worse. Okay, if I fornicate out here, it's going to make it worse. I need every bit of good energy I have. I can't just be giving it out here for fornication. Hi, everyone. Yeah, enjoy the sounds. I know y'all like the sounds. You know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start doing ASMR videos where all y'all hear is the noise, really. Maybe I'll do some singing while I'm cleaning. But yeah, y'all. Now, this is going to sound really weird. You got spell work on you. You probably need to get more sleep. Okay? A watch pot don't boil when you're watching it. So, sleep more. When you go to sleep, your ancestors work on you. If you woke, it's hard for them to, because you got them focusing on all this different kind of stuff. You know, your guides or the angels or whatever, you got them like running around taking care of this and that for you on the metaphysical realm. So, increase your sleep. I knew a guy who was always getting money and always fit. I mean, it was ridiculous. He was 18 years old, but everything he wanted, he already had. He had a car at 18. He was really fit and ripped. Like, I'm talking about like movie star, celebrity, bodybuilder ripped. You know, like lean ripped. Always attracted a lot of women and all that. And he slept at least 9 hours a day. And um, his mistake was that he let too many people in his energy. And that happens when spell work can't get to you. It'll use people. Okay? If it can't get to you, through your own emotions, it will use people to get to you. And that's what happened to him. He started hanging out in the wrong places with the wrong people. And he got real comfortable. And that kind of ruined his health. He's been having that health spell work on him for about 20 years. All he has to do is move, and it would probably clear out. Okay? Y'all, I'm going to have to soak this, because I'm trying to get this grease off this pan, but it's hanging on for dear life. So yeah, here's another thing to do, spell work. Clean your toilets if you want to break spell work. Asian people do that. When they're trying to keep spell work off their money, they will clean toilets a lot. For example, recently I just changed my shower curtains and I shampooed the carpets. 3 of the rooms I shampooed the carpets. And I redid the toilets and all. Put this stuff in there to get whatever, stains or whatever out that might have been in the toilet. And then I noticed more downloads on my book came. I noticed I started sleeping better. And I noticed my cold started going away. See? Spell work likes to hang out in things that you have no use but to use. We know we always got to use our sink every day. Toilets every day. I had a family member that spell work was getting on their health so bad. And I said, you know what? This spell work won't leave your health away. We're going to change everything that we have no choice but to use. Or we're going to have to heavily detox it. Because obviously, something about it is coming that spell work is getting on you from it. Now, for some reason, it ain't affecting me. I'm protected. But it's getting on you. So, and I noticed it got on me a little bit. All of a sudden, I started itching a little bit. I'm like, okay, just a little bit. So, I replaced all the things that we have no use, have no choice but to be in contact with. Or I bleached it. I bleached it. I kept bleaching it. Y'all was so bleachy. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to get a bath. I just kept on bleaching. And then I shampooed. And then I literally, people keep their shower curtains for years and they just fix them. I said, no new shower curtains. Nope. And then I went through the dishes and I threw away all the chipped dishes. And was like, now I be checking the dishes, like, is there any chipped dishes? And I just throw them away. I noticed that the spell work broke. So I noticed not his spell work was like eating takeout. So now he doesn't want takeout. See what I'm saying? So something about where he touched a lot. Somebody put spell work on him. And he put the spell work on something that he was always using. And every time he went to reuse the thing, the spell work was still on it. But for some reason, when he would try to break the spell work on the stuff, it didn't work. It took for me to break it. Now, let's get into another thing. Sometimes you got to get somebody who can break spell work. I could break spell work really fast. Like, I'm really good at that, y'all. So you might want to get somebody that can that's chosen to break spell work. It would be somebody who's born a natural light witch. Somebody that's like a Libra rising like me. They might got earth in their fortune. Okay? Or they got a lot of fire in their chart. Something like that. Okay? A natural witch. Because earth fire is like dealing with sticks. Okay? So, now this is getting into how to break spell work with your own power. Use the elements that power you. It's different for everybody. Okay? Some people don't know what elements give them their power. Really give them their power. So that's why they don't know how to break the spell work. I can't tell you which ones to use because I don't know you. Now, sometimes spell work is meant to disarm the power that would break it. So some people may see that you have a certain power of a certain nature, and they put the spell work on that because they know then everything in your life will start to struggle. So, if you've been dealing with the same spell work for years, you might want to consider that whatever they attacked is actually a superpower of yours, and they're trying to keep it disarmed so that you don't defeat them. Hi, everybody. Okay. If you had somebody speaking hate and curses on you and stuff in a certain room, don't go back into that room for 7 days. I know it's wild, okay? Only way you can go back in that room to avoid the spell work that they just spoke on you is if you actually freeze the room. You would have to freeze the room because heat actually makes spell work thrive. So turn your heat down for 7 days under 65 degrees. Keep the windows open and literally freeze the room out. When you detox that room where they were speaking spell work on you through negative arguments, you're going to have to spray that room with ice cold water with the salt in it. A lot of people tell you, you spray the room with sea salt and lemon, but one way you do that, it has to be ice cold. Only time you can break spell work with heat is if you are using, where it will really work is if you're using brick dust that has been charged for protection. A protection spell has to be put on the brick dust or dragon's blood, which is like brick dust, okay? The dragon's blood sets up boundaries against evil attacks, which against spell work. So, if you've been in an environment where everybody's at each other's throat, somebody did spell work on your family. So you may want to consider burning dragon's blood, like between 8 a.m. I would start at maybe 6:30 a.m. Start at 6 p.m. all the way, burning dragon's blood on and off, all the way to at least 12 p.m. Hans, you're not going downstairs. Okay? All right. Now here's another thing. Your pets can give the spell work energy to you. So you have to get lemongrass wipes for your pets. You can buy them at Petco. Just take the lemongrass wipes and wipe around everywhere that you pet them at, like around their face, around their paws. Okay? Hi, Horsey. Hi, Bye-Bye. No, you're not getting no more. So, you can do that, okay? With your pets. Most people be like, this spell work keep coming back on me. Well, who are you sleeping with? And when's the last time you detoxed your pets? Yeah. Actually, when you're fasting, your pets should be intermittent fasting. So let's say you're fasting here with a spell work. You should actually wait about an hour or two before feeding your pets in the morning. And give them a small amount of food in a bowl. You're teaching them gratitude, and that keeps them giving you love instead of acting entitled. One way I know what spell works on me is when cats act upset when they don't get their way. Okay, your pets are actually there to serve you. When they be too disobedient to you, and they act like it's optional to respect you or to care about you, then there's spell work. Hi, everybody. Hi. Yeah, you say hi. Y'all hear Hansi? Hansi, you talking. But what? Hi. You say hi one more time? Yeah. Okay. You were waiting so patiently. You get to have some. Yeah. You get some. He's talking up a storm. Hansi, what you so socializing? You talkative today, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Mickey. Hold on, y'all. Enjoy the sounds. Come on, Flick. Come in here. Flicky. Yeah, you want treats? Y'all hear Flick talking now? Hi, Bye-Bye. Hi, Bye-Bye. Okay. They waited so patiently while I got cleaned this room up. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something else to do when you're trying to break spell work. Don't buy rotten food. Like, let's say you have food that's like about to expire the next day. Don't bring that food in your house. Like, I noticed when I was going to the food banks and I was taking home food that was about to expire, I noticed that I would go after job opportunities and I would miss them. See, when you keep food that's expired, you're coming from a lack mindset, and you're actually saying, oh, you're not worthy of good health. So that's saying that you deserve the spell work. So what I try to do is I say, well, I'm not going to have much, because when you have much, y'all, do you know that sometimes caters to spell work? The Creator don't want us to have a lot. The Creator want us to have a lot of value. See what I'm saying? So if you have if your ice box is mostly empty, and let's say as soon as you put some stuff in there, it's about to expire. If there's any spell work on your health, that spell work getting strong again. It's going to get strong on you. So you need to be like, okay, icebox empty, but whatever I put in here, it better not be expired. Like, that's the worst thing you can do. Keep expired food while you're fighting spell work. So I told y'all, I was fighting spell work recently. I had to scrub my hair with tea tree. And I had to put sulfur in there. So what I'm going through now is just looking in here to see if there's anything in here that looks old or whatever. Okay. The best time also to break spell work is when you're thinking of doing some sort of investment. So let's say some of y'all are doing investments right now. Y'all like, yeah, I'm about to go ahead and sell this stuff before Black Friday so it can be marketed on Black Friday. Say y'all in that energy. That means a week before, like days before, you go to really go hard to market your stuff. There's probably spell work being put on you at that time. Okay, remember that the witches and them, they keep track of money and all that. They keep track of the moon. Some of them do, and your terrors and stuff. So they're looking at what you got coming. So they're trying to block you in the energy you in right now, so that whatever you got coming for you don't, you miss out on it. Okay? So let's say you got a job opportunity in about a week. That means that week before, you need to expect to be fighting spell work. Okay? Because when people do spell work on you, they're trying to keep you from being able to compete. Okay? They don't want you, and they also they do spell work to remember when the last time you beat them, okay, or the last time you was ahead of them. They look at old pictures of you and remember when you was like doing real good at that time, and then they just go ahead and do spell work on you at that same time. Right? For example, or they harvest your energy through sexual stuff. When people do sexual stuff to your pictures, that's spell work. Stealing energy from you. And they only do it during the time that they remember when you was abundant before. And the Creator works with synchronicities, y'all. So if you was abundant at that time before, you probably will be abundant again at that time next year, the very next year. Okay? So all they're doing is saying, yeah, when I saw you. So let me give you an example. All they're doing is saying, yeah, when I saw you last August, you was fit, you was looking good, your hair was long, all this. Yeah, I did spell work on you then when I saw you was getting it. So I'm going to go ahead and do spell work on you this year at the same time. Or it's an ex-lover saying they're going to do stuff to your pictures at the same time, doing it every year at the same time. Okay? I got somebody who do spell work on me every year between August and November. 2 people doing it. They will not stop. Actually, 3. It's 1 person on YouTube doing it. They do it every fall. Every fall. And it's the same female who she didn't express jealousy about my hair. She has a thing. When she was doing little fake ass tarot on me, thinking she was in my energy, she would always talk about my hair. So it's the same old witch. Every time I would get my hair done, I noticed she would. She was watching my tarots. She likes to synchronize her self-care with me. She tries to do tarots to see when I'm going to do self-care, when I'm going to fast. So she tries to use my energy and like paths. She tries to steal my glow-ups through tarot spell work. Tarots can help people do spell work. And these tarot card readers need to stop lying and acting like it don't. That's why if you got spell work on you and you fighting spell work the same time every year, you need to stay out of the tarot card community. Stay out of it. Okay? Because somebody even gets slightly jealous of you and they know you in the tarots. They'll start trying to do tarots thinking that they're right. And the thing about tarots is that it'll drive you crazy if you don't get confirmation. Okay? The people want you to show up so they can see if they got any confirmation with their tarots. If they did tarots on you. So, let your potential enemies have to deal with outdated stuff of yours. If you got spell work on you, you need to change your look for about 30 days. Wear your hair different. Wear something you haven't worn in a while. That way, whatever they're using to do spell work on you, it's not matching you. Whatever picture or memory, it's not matching you. So they're going to wonder if it's working since they don't have confirmation whether you still look the same. So they're going to be going insane, wondering like, did it work? Did the spell work? Is these tarots correct? Because I haven't seen her in a while. So I don't know if these tarots is right. And that's the energy they need to be in. Because they shouldn't have been trying to spy. Everybody who spell work on you and speak negative of you is spying on you. That comes with the behavior. One thing I love to do, I love to make noises and have sounds going whenever I'm talking. That's another thing. If you got spell work on you, limit the amount of silence that you have. Spell work is stronger when you're silent because it can figure you out then. See, it can learn your frequency because it's quiet. So, do your meditation outdoors where there's all different kind of sounds that will affect the spell work frequency, that will irritate it and agitate it. And when you're in your house, play classical music. Elon Musk plays classical music all day. And I know darn well it's not just because he likes classical music. Elon Musk is playing classical music because he's trying to keep people out of his energy. He knows that there's too many people all up in his money and his business and his life, and he's trying to keep the connection weak. Erykah Badu has a gong that she gongs in her house. So you can do that every now and then. Because people that do spell work on you, they're thinking about you too. They're wondering if their spell work. Okay, they're checking up on you, or they, when they think they got a little false download or whatever, when it's just an entity doing spell work on you, and they want to check and see if it's right, if their negative download was right. Okay? When you gong and make noises, it's hard. Like, the moment you even think somebody doing spell work on you sexually, you should be blocking them with noise, with alchemy sounds. Block them. It's going to be hard for them to connect to your frequency with their lust spirit behavior. It's gonna be hard. They're gonna wear themselves out trying to connect to your frequency. And here's another thing I found out. If you've been having heavy spell work on you ever since you dealt with somebody and they was in your bed, you need to turn that bed over, clean that bed, or get rid of the bed. Serious. Fornication with somebody, it strips their ability to do spell work on you. And wherever you had them, wherever you was at with them. Okay? Here's another thing. This is going to sound real weird. But anybody that lives with you, if they're playing with their body parts, you tell them they got to do that in their room. Okay? not in your living room, because it will, that whatever spirit or whatever negative spirit that they might have attracted, it's gonna feed the spell work energy. Okay, what I'm doing now is just wiping down the inside of my ice box. That's what I'm doing. And let me tell you, people that do spell work on you, they also, they're usually people that's been watching you. They probably people that's trying to make everybody think that they're psychic, that they're tapped in. And if you have a YouTube or any type of TikTok or Facebook, they watching it. Okay, they are watching it. I called out a witch before and said, stop watching my YouTube and acting like you're not. And I could feel their energy went dark, y'all. I felt like they was raging inside because they really thought I didn't know. It's almost like they got real triggered that I knew. And they gave off this dangerous vibe, y'all. It was as if that they knew that I knew, that they were shocked that I knew that they was using my energy to get fuel. Witches sometimes do spell work on you by using your energy to get fuel. People that would give them what you would give them. It's sick though. And people that do spell work on you, they get real triggered when they know that you're picking up on their energy. They can actually become violent. When you tell them, yeah, I know you was doing this, and I picked up on you doing this. If you ever just sit there and fill out their energy, you'll notice that they went dark, like they come off with this dangerous energy. Yo, I gotta get ready, girl. I'll talk to y'all in a minute, okay? I'll be back on a little later.